guess the story for Morsel goes back to 2013 when I met Jack and Adam on my first day of school at CU Boulder.
Playing with Jack and Scotty in the dorms, you know, way back in the day, but then kind of graduated to a three-piece band.
Friends would just hear through other friends that we played music and they'd invite us to their parties, and we just set up this ragtag rig in the back.
Found them through a Craigslist ad for a banjo player and decided to see if a dobro would work.
So Adam called me, he's like, hey, we're playing at the Bluebird next week. Can you drive down from Steamboat every day this week and practice with us?
Now here we are in the studio with Chris Pandolfi of the Infamous Stringdusters, and we're making our first album.
Playing and recording at a place like Mighty Fine Studio was an unbelievable experience. Very professional, but a lot of fun at the same time. And
this was our first time getting to spend 6 full days in the studio. Our last project, I think we spent just 1 day in the studio and did a couple songs, but we really got to take our time.
It was crazy being in a place with just great equipment, and then with the guys, you know, behind the scenes. That was the most incredible experience, I think.
Being in the booth, having the headphones on and hearing yourself like super professionally, and then seeing Zandy mix his magic on the board was sweet.
You know, they had a whole warehouse of instruments. I thought that was incredibly cool. The space in there was awesome, especially, you know, during COVID. Everything was spread out and big, and we were all in our isolation booths. It made a really seamless process.
we had Chris Pandolfi in there producing us and Zandy mixing us, and they just took care of us. So it was a lot of fun.
To the recording process and the planning process.
You know, he was just amazing. Working with him pushed us all, made us better.
Definitely got us to think about our music in a way we weren't before.
You know, everything just kind of fell into place. And we've been writing these songs that are on this album for between 1 year and 2 years.
It was a lot of work. I think we spent a few months before the studio just getting ready, and a lot of planning and working with our producer, Chris Pandolfi, who really guided us along the whole way.
You know, one of the things I'm most proud of about the album is just how we've all worked together collaboratively between different songwriters and everyone contributing their own flair to each song. It's been a really cool process to have all the diversity of all the different songs come together into one album.
It's the accumulation of, you know, 7 years of work to get to be in a spot to produce something that could potentially kickstart our careers as musicians.
We call it our debut album because it's, you know, it's our true sound. This sound we've had for a couple of years now, and it's forever evolving, but we still have that backbone.
The tremendous amount of support we got from the Kickstarter campaign in order to, you know, be able to fund this project.
You know, it's a long time coming. So starting back in dorms at CU Boulder, and then fast forward to this year, and seeing all these songs come to fruition.
I think it represents the best of what we could do at the time when we recorded, and I think it's a great snapshot of where the band is at right now, and I'm really stoked with how it sounds.
It's finally like, dang, we're here. Even though it's not the finish line, but we're finally starting to get our boots on the ground and off the ground at the same time.
We're getting geared up and ready to go. We got some shows lined up, you know, in the tail end of this pandemic, hopefully. So when this pandemic opens up, we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Sailing on